Corner, Sarah Gilhespie, and she will talk to you about a group that it's not exactly for kids with special needs, abuse, neglect, whatever, but give us a
Hello. I'd like to speak to you about Friends Corner first. Because I know from Tina that some of you are thinking of becoming volunteers, I also wanted to look at it from a different angle. It got me thinking about how I decided to become a volunteer, and I realized that in fact it was something that was a tradition in our family, and part of our characters, let's say, that brought us a lot of joy. Yes, okay. So I'm involved not only in Friends Corner but also in the Scottish Society. I also set up 2 online play groups for international families that wanted to connect with each other. Just to look at the point of view of how somebody would become a volunteer. From very young, the first person that I met that was a volunteer was my great-grandmother, who knitted blankets for the homeless in Glasgow. Then my grandparents were doing singing and dancing shows to raise money for local charities. Later on, my father was involved in fundraising committees at work for charities again. And when we became young adults, my brother, my sister and I, we started to get involved in charities and raising money for them. And it was something we're always very proud of, because you know you can live a happy life, but if you don't give something back to the community, I think there's always going to be something missing. So today I'd like to talk about Friends Corner. It started 33 years ago. I've spoken to some of the mothers that began it, and they said that 33 years ago, finding themselves in Greece, they felt like they needed a connection with other international families. Some of them were totally foreign families, some of them were half Greek, half foreign, and they wanted a place that they could take their children. Initially they were getting together in parks with their cups of tea, so they told me, and they said, okay, let's rent something, we'll find something run down, we'll do it, we'll make it, we'll paint the walls, we'll bring toys that we don't need, everybody will bring books. They told me in the beginning that every day one of the mums would take it as her duty to bring something, to bring some of our kids' toys, the books. As Tina said, we don't have children with special needs, but being international children, I think they have a need to meet other children in the same situation. So Friends Corner is entirely parent run. We have a nursery Monday to Friday. Everybody that's at Friends Corner is a volunteer, every single parent who brings their child. And another important factor for me is that our children, not only are they in an international environment, but they also get to experience nursery without leaving the side of their carer, which in my opinion is very important, because you know, children do very well learning when they feel safe and confident. We have now a very beautiful clubhouse in Anoglyfada with a lovely yard. And just so I don't forget, we are looking for a children's charity who would like to come and use our area if they want to bring the children for an outing. Because we have some Saturdays and Sundays that we could book it, and for free they could come and bring the children. According to the members, we are non-religious, non-political. Whichever celebrations suit the parents of that year, we organise it. And we also have adopted an Action Aid girl who we receive letters from, and who we feel is also part of our big Friends Corner family. In 2009 we set up new premises. We had to raise €3,000 from donors, and we fell short of 4,000, which we had to borrow. in the end, my father-in-law put in 10 hours a day for 6 weeks in the summer heat. Myself, my husband, my 2 older kids, and volunteer parents. This is the initial drawing of what our new school would look like. This is how it was when we first rented it. My father-in-law making our yard. We wanted, since we were doing it from scratch, to make it as safe as possible, as stimulating as possible, and also to have a feeling of when you're inside, still feeling that you're outside. So there's windows all around. That's us. We moved some of our stuff. That's one of the dads helping. Just a gathering of friends. The painting beginning. This is one of the ex-presidents had made a really large car that the children adore. Every day they spend time there. And that had to be transported by foot, 8 streets. Took a long time. That's how it was then. Ex-vice president painting our furniture. Her son was having a tantrum meanwhile because he didn't like being ignored. But afterwards it was okay, they go back to friends. Absolutely everything was done by the parents. Even the railings to keep it safe, the yard, were made by my father-in-law and painted by the parents. Somebody else putting paint. That's the railings going up. And my father-in-law, he said he understands my need to help in the community, but he says, actually, Sarah, I did it all for my 3rd grandchild, because during setting up that school I was pregnant, and when we left the maternity hospital, we didn't go home, we went straight to Friends Corner. First to Friends Corner, then home. That's the first party that was held after setting up our new place. Unfortunately, I couldn't find photos of the inside. We spent so much time outside, but the inside is really beautiful. We've got an art room, we've got a play area, and a lovely place for the mums. This was an award that we gave to my father-in-law for setting up our new school. That's one of the first parties, and that's Action Song Time. And if we find an organisation who wants to come to us for the day, some of the mums would be happy to come and do our nursery programme for you. So we have activities that we do, including sitting song time, action song time. We have puppets, we have dressing up clothes. I think it would be a very nice thing. And that's the most recent picture that I have, taken recently, and I'm just very happy that it's there. It's been a family for us, an extended family, and I'm sure that it's given the children a source of happiness, meeting other children that are from international families. So, any questions?
It's really a wonderful place to be with your kids. So it's run by, the same parents themselves, created by the parents, run by the parents. The children are accompanied either by their parents or by a nanny or a grandmother, whatever, but they are with somebody that they have close contact with. And it's a wonderful place for kids. I mean, it has a number of toys, education, for arts and craft.
And we want to share it with somebody. So.
Any questions?
I would just like to emphasize this with our students. You're seeing as each organization presents itself, how very different they are. And the groups that they focus on are very different. And the organizational structures are very different. So creativity and innovation are very, very important when it comes to making things happen.
Can I say just one more thing? For me, one of the miracles of Friends Corner is that that it was created and it survived solely from parents who were at the most difficult stage, which is babies and small children. Because as most of you will know, when you've got small children, your free time is so limited.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And let's have our next speaker.